For the third time in just over 20 years, we are getting the Burrow, the charming, quaint home of the Weasley family from the Harry Potter saga. This being a collector's edition version is the largest of the group, and there are some really cool details and components to the set. However, there are some very disappointing ones as well, to the point where there's one huge issue I have in my decision to buy this set. So buckle in, we're going to go over the building techniques, the pieces, the minifigs, and the value in this video of the Burrow. This set is actually similar in terms of its footprint to the 2020 version, coming in around 18 studs wide and about 22 studs deep. Now there is a little bit bigger, like I said, than the 2020 version, but it also is much more expensive. It's $260 for 2,400 pieces, which is more than double what you got in the 2020 version. And the new version comes with 10 minifigs. Now, this size means we get a lot of details in the set. So let's go ahead and break down the building techniques. The Burrow lines up well with what LEGO has been doing in many of its recent 18+ sets. Constructing unique angles, incorporating lots of snot work, and nice parts usage. One cool thing about the concept of the Burrow is that its defining characteristic is its haphazard, almost whimsical and magical look. Note, for instance, uneven surfaces along the upper floors, with some tiles raised a plate. Perhaps nothing demonstrates this more than the angled upper levels. LEGO has really done nicely with this here. They use some Technic beams with half pins and reddish brown tiles added to form the pillars. Then there are some Technic pins to allow it to angle downward about the height of one brick. This angle is pronounced, yet looks very sturdy. Of course, the details don't stop with that, even on this angled section. Notice that the horizontal and vertical snot work that they use to construct the walls. The lower section is 8 studs tall, while the upper part is 10 studs tall and reflects the geometry of the original home itself. This lack of uniformity adds intrigue and decreases repetition in the building experience. And then there is the use of a panel piece that looks like a canopy above one of the windows in the upper levels. Now this would be really cool if it were a printed piece, but looking at the images, it is a sticker, which really disappoints me because I think putting stickers on top of curved pieces is much more difficult than doing that over flat pieces. As it is still only the second time we're getting that piece in light gray. Another fascinating technique is found on the first level, where you have some zigzag patterns in the wall. In the 2020 set, this was achieved using stickers. Here, though, it's achieved by using some snot techniques. Check it out. 45-degree slopes and inverted slopes in white and reddish brown are combined, with the white wall section continuing all the way around the structure. Moving up the side of the house above the pig pen, you can see these 45-degree angled walls, which look fantastic. Again, these are the types of details that you don't see in the regular system sets, and you can get from the 18+ collector's editions or icons or UCS sets in LEGO themes. There are other cool details on the exterior that may not look all that special to you, but are very well executed. These include the use of light blade inverted arches for the peaked roof, the chimney, and even the alternating color scheme of the main roof. Now, the Burrow here may not be quite as big as some people wanted, but this is partially due to all of the interior details, which contain so many shoutouts to the various Harry Potter movies, and especially the Chamber of Secrets. There's the sweater knitting, the play feature that washes dishes, a working flue network, and a rubber duck. Every square stud of this home is packed with detail, which is both good and bad. For instance, the first level has the dining table, but there's really very little room for all of the minifigs to sit around it. There are flowers and shelves and drawers everywhere, which adequately resembles the chaotic order of the Weasleys' home, but does take away pieces from maybe increasing the footprint of the building. Another cool technique visible from the interior photos is the use of staircases to support the roof. It's a very efficient and effective use of the pieces. In the upstairs rooms, you have multiple bedrooms and a bathroom, and the most interesting of the beds is that of the parents. Molly and Arthur, which is angled vertically by one plate. You also have bedrooms for Ron, Ginny, and Percy. The last thing I'll note about the building techniques is that the multiple play features of the set add complexity to the build. Take the flue network, for instance. Place a minifig in the fireplace, turn the knob a bit above it, and watch the minifig rise up the chimney. This takes concerted effort to align everything in the right way and makes the build a bit more entertaining. When it comes to pieces, this is one of the few 18+ sets that I actually find to be rather disappointing in terms of new colors or new pieces itself. Now, there are a couple of them, and I'll unpack in just a little bit, but where the strength of the pieces for this set lie is with the quantity of very, very useful pieces. We're talking bricks, lots of tiles, masonry bricks, roof slopes, windows, and other types of pieces just like that. Now, the first pieces that jumped out to me were the rounded panels used for the canopy that I mentioned earlier. Second time we're getting those in light gray. Although they're not new, the medium azure windows in 1x2x2 and 1x2x3 are a nice addition. The same is true of the 1x3x3 windows, which come in medium nougat and dark brown. One new color I see is the worm gear in green that is used for the Flue Network play feature. You can get another one of these in the Borgin & Burke's gift with purchase that is available from the LEGO store with Harry Potter purchases over a certain threshold from September 1st through September 10th. One other new piece that I see, or a new color, is the hairbrush in tan, which is a nice accessory to have, but honestly is not something that moves the needle for me when it comes to this set. For Harry Potter fans, this is a great minifig pack. Of course, you get Harry Potter, but then you get all 9 of the Weasleys. You've got Molly, you've got Arthur, you've got Ron, Percy, Ginny, Bill, and Charlie, all of them. And this is the first time we are getting Bill and Charlie in minifig form. Some other really cool details in the minifigs include Arthur's hat, which fits so well with when he arrives home for breakfast in the Chamber of Secrets after an all-night work session. Molly's sleeve printing is really well done, and Percy's pajamas torso is fantastic. I also want to give a shout out to Bill's torso, which I think looks great. However, one drawback is that Percy's legs aren't printed, which makes the pajamas look a bit awkward. In fact, the only minifig with leg printing is Molly, which I find to be a bit disappointing overall. Now, while not a minifig itself, we do get Errol, the Weasley family's owl. We got a version of him back in 2010-2011, but this is the first time we get him with his wings spread out. In all, I find the minifigs here to be a little bit of a mixed bag. I love the fact that we're getting all of the Weasleys, we're getting some great torsos, especially from the civilian side of things and not Hogwarts uniforms, but the execution isn't quite as good as I was hoping, especially with the lack of leg printing. That said, I think some of the print jobs are incredible, and I hope that the actual minifigs are as good as what they look like in the images. As always, here at Building Together, we like to unpack different types of value. We'll start here with the display value, which is very strong. There's no doubt that if people are Harry Potter fans, they will recognize the Burrow. Now, this set comes in at 18 inches tall, which isn't too bad, especially if you compare it to, I don't know, Barad-dûr or something like that. It's also, I think, 9 inches wide and 9 to 10 inches deep. They didn't give the dimensions on that depth, but it will fit nicely on a shelf. The problem is I can see there being some disappointment by fans with the lack of size for the set. I don't think it's all that much bigger than the 2020 version. It is bigger, but they use the pieces to add detail to the interior. Now, this is an important component for display value because the more you add to the interior, the less you get on the exterior. There's a trade-off there. And if you just display this set and you're not worried about playing it, you're not gonna take it off the shelf and show people like all of the little Easter eggs, which are really cool and a nice love letter to the Harry Potter fans, you might question why you're spending so much money and on a display piece when all you're seeing is the outside and not the inside. This is the age-old, I think, problem that you have with LEGO sets as they try to navigate a good and entertaining build for the interior and the exterior detail. All told though, as a Harry Potter fan, I like the display value and I like the interior details because I think it's great to see some of those Easter eggs that they provide across some of the movies and scenes that take place in the Burrow. In terms of monetary value, this is a bit of a mixed bag. It's not a terrible price per piece ratio with $260, 2,400 pieces. It's not very good though. And the 10 minifigs, I love the fact that we're getting all of the Weasleys, but it's not a super high amount of minifigs either. The other aspect of this I will mention is that LEGO might be willing to increase the price on this one because this is part of an established theme and a line of collector's edition sets that have done well in the past. For instance, Diagon Alley, Gringotts, the Icons edition with Hedwig and all of the artifacts, as well as the Hogwarts Express. So this is the 5th one of those collector's edition sets, and LEGO knows it's probably going to sell well. As such, I think there are some problems with the sets in terms of value because of that, right? Partially the stickers, right? You get so many stickers. If you look at this set, just look at the images, almost all of the important printed parts are stickered. There are very few actually printed on the piece, like some of the clocks or the watches. I don't even think the windows, it's hard to tell from the images, I don't even think they are printed, and that's tough. I don't like that. I also really don't like placing the stickers over that canopy piece that is rounded. In terms of minifigs, 260 bucks, 10 minifigs, not horrible, but again, there's some disappointment when it comes to the execution of how they print those minifigs and the lack of printing on the legs. So I'm not sure this is the best value, and the pieces you get, very useful, but nothing special that jumps out to me as being a really fantastic way of getting a new or newly colored piece. There is one area of value that I do want to talk about that isn't really unique to Harry Potter sets, but is very relevant for this, and that is the value of being a fan of Harry Potter. When I look at this set, there's 10 minifigs, and it's all of the Weasleys, and fans are going to love that. When I look at the interior details, a lot of Easter eggs go into it, and it does take away from maybe the size of the set, but Harry Potter fans are going to like that. I think that in general, LEGO's looked at the collector's edition sets for Harry Potter and they've done really well. So they're going to give us this set. They might mark it up a little bit more, and that's okay because fans are willing to spend it because it's not as much as Gringotts, it's not as much as the Hogwarts Express or Diagon Alley. And so it's a value in that sense. Now, as a Harry Potter fan, I'm okay with that. I like the Easter eggs. I do wish they had fewer stickers. I do wish they had more printing on the legs for the minifigs. But yeah, as a fan, I get it. So this means that really this $260 LEGO set is for a small segment of the LEGO fan community. And that's okay because I think LEGO's convinced people are going to buy it. But it does limit the audience. I think the only reason you'd buy the set is if you like Harry Potter. Like if you like the pieces, you can find better deals like in Creator 3-in-1 or even some of the icon sets that you can use for buildings or other kinds of mocks. So I don't think you're gonna buy it for that. It's only going to be those people who like Harry Potter. And as a Harry Potter fan, okay, I'm cool with that. But, and this is where I come to the big problem of deciding whether or not to buy the set. I have the 2010 Burrow, and it's okay. It was a good first entree into that location, but the 2020 version is really good. My youngest daughter has that set. We're currently building it to try to get a sense for whether we want to get the large collector's edition one. And it's a good set. It's got some good building techniques. It's got some solid minifigs. It's got some really cool pieces to it. And you can actually find it on Bricklink, even though it's retired, for roughly the same amount that it cost when it was available in stores. It cost $100 then. You can get it for about $100 to $110, not including shipping right now. And so that leads me to this decision, right? Why would you buy the $260 version if you could get a suitable display version in the 2020 version for less than half the cost? And that's where I'm kind of struggling with the decision to buy the set. You could go on eBay, you can go on Bricklink right now and get a pretty good deal on the 2020 version and save yourself some money. As for us, I'm undecided on this. I really am. I want to get this set because I'm a big Harry Potter fan. We didn't get some of the other Harry Potter sets knowing that this might be coming out, and I'm intrigued to get it. But we do have the other two versions of the Burrow, and even if this one is better, is it $150 better? I don't know. That's a tough question. Are you planning on buying this? Go ahead, comment down below. If you are a Harry Potter fan, let me know if you like those details that are packed into the set. In the meantime, check out one of our other videos. Thanks for watching, and always remember to keep building together.